to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Howard Stern yesterday. So, you know, the Blackface clip came out with him wearing blackface, using the N-word, doing a Whoopi Goldberg skit after he was on The View, talking about he didn't use the N-word. The internet's undefeated, as y'all know. They dug up the clips. And then I forwarded something that was sent to me out of Howard Stern's book about Rodney King. Maybe I should read it.
Which book? Do you remember which book it was from?
I think it's from Private Parts. I think it's from Private Parts. Let me see if I could get a good piece. These LA cops should have done what New York cops have been doing for years. Be real nice to Rodney, gently assist him into the squad car, give him a cup of coffee so he can sober up, take him to the basement of the station house, and beat the living ish out of him. No cameras, no riots, no nothing. Case closed. Justice is served. I love cops. Every time they're on a high-speed chase like that, they're taking their lives into their hands. Who knows what those cretins are packing when they get out of cars? Cops, you deserve all the donuts you can eat. I just can't figure out why I still get traffic tickets. Actually, Rodney should get down on his knees and kiss the feet of officers that wailed on him. Have you seen the before and after pictures of this dude? It was a Rodney King makeover. He went in looking like Skid Row Joe, and after 20 whacks to the head, came out looking like Billy D. Williams. Nice new dude, stylish, pencil-thin mustache. He looks like a movie star. They beat the ugly out of him. Now he's a superstar. He threw out the ball at the first Dodgers home game. Maybe Mike Ovitz will represent him for a movie of the week deal, for one of those movie of the week deals. He just turned down a $2 million settlement. This guy is going to be the world's most dangerous millionaire. And then it goes on. That was a Howard Stern book. But anyway, yesterday on this program, the reason I read that is because, you know, as people are like, you know, how did you support Howard? Were you a Howard Stern listener? He's used the N-word multiple times. This is in his book. Blah. I was going down a whole thing of people ranting and raving. Yesterday on his show, he said that because of his psychotherapy, he's changed. He's a different guy. He's a different guy now than he was then. And if he was doing those skits now, he wouldn't feel the need to do that. He wouldn't go that far. But he made sure to say, this was interesting. He made sure to say, I am not apologizing.
I didn't see that part.
Wow.
So, and the reason I point out that is because there's something in you that when you offend a group and you know you've hurt someone, what is it about not apologizing?
Yeah, I don't know why people see apologizing as like either some sort of admission of guilt or weakness.
Well, from what you're saying, it didn't sound like he said he was wrong. He just said that he's grown.
That's right.
And that he wouldn't go that far anymore.
That's right.
So
he repeatedly said that he was crazy and he was doing things that were crazy.
Right.
But why wouldn't you apologize because
if
of
you've
it?
already
It's
said you're crazy.
If I was in a different state of mind, I apologize. That's not the man who I am today. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't you just apologize for that?
Because he didn't say he was wrong. When he says he's not that same man, it sounds like to me I just wouldn't do that publicly. I wouldn't do that anymore.
He knows his base, and he knows what'll happen if he apologizes.
Well, that's why I pointed out.
So he's not.
It also says to me that the group, here's the thing about it. The group that is offended by this and hurt the most is not that important to me. That's what you got to pay attention to in these things. Y'all not that important for me to feel sorry. You don't
gonna
carry
affect
that much
you
weight.
anyway.
I don't have that much respect, and I'm not sorry. That's how I interpret that.
I wonder if he'll stay with that as the days go on.
Let's see. That's what he ran yesterday. I don't listen to Howard. I've never been a Howard listener. I appreciate how far he took the radio game, but I've never been a Howard Stern listener.
It's annoying, though, that he would come up short of saying that.
Is it?
I mean, I find
guess
it
annoying. Yeah,
I find
annoying.
it disappointing because I think that most people have liked his work so much and generally believe that he's, for many years now said things that people think is positive. So you would think that when he looks back and goes, man, in 1993, I was just trying to be this shock jock. I was out of control. I'm sorry for a lot of the things I said and did. I would never do that now. I think everyone would have been like, all right, cool. Thank you. Why
just
come up short of
just
that?
the other week, he made sure to emphasize why he doesn't like. He even emphasized he doesn't dislike Trump. He dislikes the people that made Trump president.
Yeah.
And reemphasized that he's not a liberal.
So you think there's a lot of posturing to not go as far as to lose the most right-leaning people who follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
And not
protecting it.
only that, he's being
protecting it for
being
sure.
true to himself. He's being true to where he comes from. That Long Island racist, white supremacist-ish. I don't have to apologize to y'all. I don't have to be cool with y'all. Y'all not gonna do ish. You can't stop me. It's done. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's what it is. It's like Rush Limbaugh. They get awarded for holding the line of white supremacy.
I don't understand where – I mean, listen, I guess he's been rich for a long time, but you grew up to working-class Jewish parents from Long Island. Doesn't mean they're not racist, but white supremacist is a different level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his dad was a regular immigrant who worked in radio.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they don't support white supremacy and the idea that there are people that are under them, less than them, because of who they are, because of their European blood. It doesn't mean that they don't support that ideal. Now, I'm not saying they're signing up to Nazi groups and going out here starting drama,
tough.
but the idea of white supremacy isn't just relegated to some organized crime unit that's terrorizing people of color. It's an idea.
Right, that seeps into the way you operate.
And so your unwillingness to say that you're sorry tells me that you are too good in your own eyes to apologize for wearing blackface and doing some Sambo, minstrel comedy that you was doing or saying the things that you were saying. That's what that says to me.
By the way, he's been disappointing. Let me be honest. As someone who grew up admiring him from a radio standpoint for a lot of reasons, he's been disappointing many times. This is not it. He's super pro-gun. It makes no sense. The only thing you could say about the gun thing, Ebro, is just what the point you're making about knowing his base. Otherwise, you trying to convince me that some Jewish dude who lives in Manhattan, who's super rich, is a gun nut? I can't even picture Howard Stern being able to hold a gun. And yet after the day after the Florida shooting, he was talking about protecting guns.
Well, that's why you get the
Out of here.
So there's a lot. If you really look into it, he's done many things that really shows his progressive part of him is more of the act.
Well, and the only reason I'm bringing it up right now is because I know so many people in this city love the guy. And I've never been a fan.
Well, but that's
for
also
this reason.
and it's also important you bring it up because that's the thing we have to challenge ourselves on, particularly white people. This is the thing I've been saying about white people being pushed to speak up about people that they like and love who say and do things that are terrible. And Howard Stern's an easy example because you don't even know him. He's not your aunt. Listen, I have an aunt and uncle I haven't talked to since Trump was elected. So people are going to have family members they can't talk to anymore, or they're going to have awkward interactions with. This is just getting people to acknowledge someone whose entertainment you enjoyed. You might have to come to grips with the fact that they have serious flaws that you shouldn't ignore.
Well, and also, why did you enjoy their entertainment? Because it was offensive and outlandish?
Yeah, I mean,
And who was it mostly offensive to? Because I tell you what, most of the offensive, outlandish humor in our society is targeted at the most marginalized and vulnerable groups. That's what we enjoy that as a culture. We enjoy picking on the little guy. We enjoy picking on defenseless groups that don't have enough political power or money to yank us off the air. Because I tell you what, he ain't making no Jewish jokes.
I mean, he's made Jewish jokes, but he's Jewish, so he can get away with that more. I don't want to push that narrative that yes, Jews are good at protecting themselves, but people make their Jew jokes.
For sure.
At least Jews do, certainly safely.
But that's my point.
What Jews don't do, Ebro, is come out talking about Israel. Different conversation.
You want to get into that right now?
No, not particularly, but it is
we're
a big difference, though. I'm not scared to talk about it. It's just we don't need to go down another rabbit hole, but we do enjoy that. Listen, we do fight and do anything to protect people's ability to attack groups that are marginalized. We even did it with our guy, and I love him and have been critical of it. We'll get sensitive about some groups, but don't get mad at Dave when he says things that are really kind of off base about trans issues.
Well, no, people did get mad at Dave.
And some people did, but we fought to defend it too, because it's hard to come down on the people you love and be like, hey, we got to do better. And we all want to be able to just take a joke. Just take a joke. But really, you're right. It always ends up being the marginalized groups that are taking the jokes.
Well, and they're the most sensitive because they're already marginalized.
Now, is there some sense of frustration that the trans community managed in over several years to be able to completely change a conversation, and black people have been getting tortured for 400 years and are barely making the same dent? I understand why that frustration would exist. But two wrongs don't make a right.